Hey, just because some of them can destroy the world doesn't mean they don't look good while doing it. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 sexiest female mutants in the X-Men. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we'll be looking at the heroines and villainesses of the X-Men universe franchise, both the comics and on screen, that are downright sizzling. And we're not just talking about the way Storm strikes toads with lightning. Number 10, Shadowcat, Kitty Pryde.
Too late, assholes.
Meow. While phasing through solid objects might kind of seem like a lame mutation, in the hands of this particular feline it becomes a lethal force. Originally portrayed as the sisterly archetype that just kind of hung around with the more famous X-Men, over time Kitty Pryde has evolved into a capable fighter and a beautiful young woman. So much so that in the comics she has had romantic ties to both Colossus and Star-Lord. Someone might want to inform Chris Pratt of what he's up against.
Star-Lord. Finally.
Number 9, Domino.
Guys, how about you let the ladies have a moment?
If luck be a lady tonight, then she comes armed with a lot of firepower. A skilled mercenary whose trigger figure is bolstered by her mutant ability to shift probability in her favor, Domino has contributed to both the X-Men and their more lethal subgroup known as X-Force. Always up for a laugh and dazzling to behold, she's a swell gal to be around as long as you're not one of her targets. This is especially true if you're Cable or Wolverine, given how luck was definitely in their favor when each had their time as her lover. So she's been with one of the world's most powerful mutants and a razor-clawed death machine? Huh, she must like bad boys.
How's your trigger finger?
Itchin'.
Number 8, Jean Grey, Phoenix.
What do you see?
Scott.
One of the biggest tragedies to befall the X-Men was the loss of this elegant telepath, who was one of its core members. She was a motherly figure to some, a friend to all, and had won the hearts of both Cyclops and Wolverine. When Jean became the uncontrollably powerful Dark Phoenix, she was basically just as hot as before, but now came with the added ferocity and, the ability to set whole planets ablaze or destroy entire galaxies. Whatever. Of course, that should be a draw for some dudes who like powerful women.
Him? No.
Number 7, X-23.
Everything I am is because of you!
Okay, first things first. We're not talking about the version that appeared in Logan. She's a tiny badass, but tiny, so ew.
Not okay.
We're actually talking about her comic incarnation, the cloned daughter of Wolverine. Trained to be nothing more than a killing machine, she somehow has even less humanity than her dear old dad, although she did eventually take over his mantle. Unfortunately, flirting with her would probably end with you getting your guts torn out, quite literally. Still, it's fair to say that for a supposed animal with only the mission in mind, she still looks great. But again, don't say it to her face. Number 6, Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff.
You two can still walk away from this.
No, we will.
Able to bend reality to her will, this X-Men and Avenger is utterly radiant to behold, even with her rather unique choice of clothing. But never forget that this supposed daughter of Magneto is so powerful that in her grief, she nearly wiped out all mutants from the face of the earth. She's a fractured soul whose life has been mired by tragedy, but even as we watch the cataclysmic aftermaths of her untapped power, we can't help but find her utterly bewitching. But don't think you've got a chance with her, gents. She's only got eyes for Vision. Or, her brother if you read the Ultimate Comics, but we're not touching that. Number 5, Mystique, Raven Darkholm.
Mutant and proud.
Even in her natural blue skin state, there's just something about this shapeshifter that's irresistible. Maybe it's the way those legs are catching your eye one minute and snapping your neck the next. Or it could be how she quite literally can make your every fantasy come true via her endless transformations, but would rather spend her time bringing humanity down a peg. Either way, you can't help but love her. Oh, and she's also the mother of Nightcrawler and the adoptive mom of Rogue, so we guess that makes her the quintessential mutant MILF, right?
You know, people like you are the reason I was afraid to go to school as a child.
Number 4, Psylocke, Elizabeth Betsy Braddock.
I knew you wouldn't let me die. Fool!
Originally just your average British telepath, the Betsy Braddock we all know and love came into being after her consciousness was transferred into the body of a female Japanese ninja. That not only granted her all the physical skills she would ever need, but a whole new exotic look too that made more than a few jaws drop. Don't get too distracted, mind you, or that psychic knife of hers can slice and dice you before you even know it. Good thing she's on the side of the X-Men, at least when she's not being used as a pawn by the hand.
Okay. We are finished.
Number 3, Rogue. She is the forbidden fruit, with all kinds of gorgeous. Rogue's mutation has acted kind of like a curse, because if she comes into contact with anyone for too long, she drains their life force. Oops. In the case of humans, this can send them into comas, while with mutants, she usually just temporarily steals their powers. As you might have guessed, this can make relationships kinda difficult, but for the heart of this Southern belle, many have risked it. While Gambit easily comes to mind,
You know what happens when I touch somebody. You want to end up in the hospital?
Maybe it's worth it, no?
2017 saw a romance bloom between Rogue and Deadpool. Nice one, Wade. Number 2, Storm. In the country she was raised, she was revered as a goddess for her mastery of the elements. Though you can tell she's kind of divine just by looking at her though, right? As a veteran X-Man, Storm is well respected amongst both mutants and humans alike. She even earned the love of the King of Wakanda himself, Black Panther, who wasted no time in making her his queen, for a time anyway. She's bound to blow you away with her smoldering looks, even if you're an enemy of hers, except that she might be blowing you away via tornado. Before we reveal our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Number 1, Emma Frost.
You can stop trying to read my mind, sugar.
If you're gonna get over someone as fiery as Jean Grey, you might as well go the other way, to a frosty extreme. While she has walked the line as both an enemy and ally of the X-Men, there can be no denying that this telepath is an absolute diamond. The former White Queen managed to ensnare the heart of Cyclops, to the point where they would even engage in psychic sexual affairs. Whoa. Talk about a woman who can blow your mind, am I right? Whether you figure her an adversary, a leader, or something in between, Miss Frost will undoubtedly have you seeing the beauty in the cold before you know it.
Scott, if the choice is leaving us or letting go of Jean, then let me try.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.